Hello Crohn's Warriors, my name is Barrett, Laurie, and I am glad to welcome you here to my channel. This is going to be the third vlog to my Let's Talk About Butt Stuff vlog series, where I talk to you specifically about what's going on in my chronic illness journey, as well as pick a few topics that I'm going to delve into a little deeper. And this week I'm going to be doing the topic of what it feels like to constantly have to say no. This topic comes to me because a friend of mine who I met through YouTube that also suffers from Crohn's disease recently, this person and I were having a back and forth discussion on Instagram about what's going on in their life, and they were talking about how difficult it's been to continue to have to say no to invitations to dinner parties and to barbecues and functions right now because the people in their lives have gotten vaccinated and they are still not at a place where they can be around other people yet. The reason I wanted to talk about this is because it is something unique to the moment that we're in, considering the global pandemic. On the other hand, the need to say no and the inability to do a lot of long-term planning when you're in a flare-up, that isn't something that is unique to a pandemic. That is something that's unique to those of us with Crohn's disease, and therefore it's something we're going to talk about. I want to start this discussion by saying that no is a complete sentence. For me, there were several people in my life who I probably needed to weed out of my life that did not accept no as an answer when I was first sick. And I got a whole lot of comments, including from well-meaning and supportive friends who said things along the lines of, why not? Or to question, are you still sick, really? And kind of sort of trying to guilt trip me into going out when I didn't really feel like it. Once I was diagnosed, it was pretty quick that the friends that were not going to hang with me through this process, through this journey, pretty quickly fell off. When I've had people ask me and push back a little bit on, well, why can't you come? And this was before, of course, the pandemic, which could kill me. But when people were pushing with, well, why not? Why can't you come? I would usually respond with, well, currently I feel nauseous, I can't keep food down, and I am dealing with uncontrollable bloody diarrhea. So if you have a bathroom that you can dedicate to just me that you wouldn't mind setting the cleaners out for because it's likely to get messy in there, I'm happy to come. I'm just likely to spend the entirety of the time in the bathroom uncomfortable in order to make you comfortable. And usually if you lay out for someone what you'll have to go through to make them happy and say it back to them just like that. Sure, I'm willing to come to your birthday party if you're willing to dedicate a bathroom to just me so I can sit in there in grueling agony and have bloody diarrhea stool all over your bathroom the entire time, giving me more anxiety. If that's what you need to be happy, then I suppose I can do that for you, and see what they say back. And if they're like, oh yeah, sure, come on over, that's not a friend. That's someone you need to cut out of your life. And unfortunately, the thing about chronic illness is a lot of people will just fall out of your lives. And that isn't only going to be friends that fall out of your life. There will be family that falls out of your life. There's also going to come a time where you have something that you really want to do and you're looking forward to that you won't be able to do. And that's just, it's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the disease. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is. There are days where I just cannot get out of bed. My energy is completely zapped. The things that will be essential to you, not falling victim to FOMO, which is a real thing. But FOMO is even worse when you have a chronic illness because there are so many things that we want to do that we will not be able to do. I'll give you an example. My cohort for my MBA class, we went through all of our classes together. We went through everything together, really. And we became very, very close. And my specific study group of friends became kind of best friends. And we usually once a year would take a trip together to the Lake of the Ozarks, which is a lake. Most of you, if you've watched the Netflix show Ozark, it is set there. So we would go there and kind of do condo weekend and get out on the lake on a boat and just enjoy one another and hang out for 2 or 3 days and catch up. And it was kind of our once a year thing where we'd get together, kind of touch base with one another. We might see one another throughout the year individually, but to get the whole gang back together is a once a year thing. And we're doing it in June. And I can't go. Everyone's vaccinated. I had to explain to them, I just can't go. My doctor has said that with the variants, me being vaccinated protects me to an extent. And then the rest of it, they don't know enough yet. And his advice, because my immune system is suppressed at the moment, is it's just not safe. I'm devastated. I'm going to miss the whole gathering. I'm going to look at their photos and their videos and their reels and all the things and just think, gosh, I wish I was there. And that happens a lot If you're suffering from chronic illness, my recommendation on that is to talk to a counselor. It's the only way I can work through those feelings and get to a place where I can appreciate the good times that the people I love are having and not feel some kind of way about it. I also want you to remember that flare-ups are temporary. It's very hard to keep that in mind when you're in it. I'm in one now that has been going on since October of 2019. This video is posting on June the 3rd of 2021, which means we're almost 2 years into this flare-up.
Someday, they say, I will feel better and will be able to go back to a modicum of a normal life. That day is not today.
So that's important to remember. The flare-ups are not forever. It is temporary, and there are going to be some things that you cannot do, and that's tough, and I'm sorry for it. But the sooner you accept that that is just the way that it is and there isn't a whole lot that you can do about it, the sooner you're going to get to a place where you don't feel that envy, those negative jealousy kind of feelings. Instead, when you see pictures of people having a good time and doing the things that you wish you were doing, you will genuinely be happy for them and think to yourself, that'll be me soon if I just stick the course. Nothing about this is easy. Everything about the disease is hard. Everything about being in pain all the time is hard. Everything about having to explain to people that you're in pain all the time is hard. It's important to remember also that when people go on and have fun without you, it doesn't mean they don't love you or they don't care about you or they're not thinking about what you're going through. They are. They've already thought about it and processed it and moved on to what you were invited to do in the first place. It's really hard to watch some of those videos and think, oh my gosh, they just don't even care. They do care. They're just going on about their lives because that's what we do. And that's what we want people to do. We don't want them to not do anything because we can't do anything. That's not very productive. Instead, I think it's better to look for ways to get around the things that you can't do. So, for example, one of the things that I recommend people look into is both Amazon Prime and Netflix have a watch party option where you can watch movies and shows with other people and comment on the show live while you're watching. That's something that I have done with several friends throughout this flare-up, and it has been quite the godsend. It's been great to watch certain shows with friends and have that communal back and forth. Just because we're not sitting on the same couch in the same house doesn't mean we can't still have fun. I have another friend of mine that we like to do tarot readings and astrology stuff, and we'll have a date. We call it our witchy hour, where we get our coven together of our like-minded people, and we do our tarot readings and our astrology stuff via Zoom. And that allows me to still feel like I'm in with everyone, even though I can't physically be there. But I can't tell you how much I appreciate people going out of their way to say, let's set this up so it's also a Zoom so we can include him. The last thing that I have been doing to kind of help me get through this is lots of outdoor activities. So when the weather allows, if it's possible for me to meet someone for a walk or a coffee in the park or a tea in the park, I try to do that as often as possible because that at least allows me to have some social interaction on the days that I feel the best I possibly can. And usually in a park, at least, I have the option of a bathroom that isn't too far on the days that I can't journey too far from the bathroom. These are all just some ideas for things you can do to feel less alone during this time when it's still not quite safe to congregate with other people. I know that it's really hard to have to say no. I know that it's really hard to miss the fun, to have the FOMO. But I know that being on a ventilator looks like a whole lot less fun. I appreciate you for stopping by. My name is Barrett, Laurie, and I want to be a traditionally published author. Here on this channel, we talk about 3 things: books, reading and writing them, butt stuff, don't get it twisted, we talk about chronic illness, specifically Crohn's disease, and fun stuff, which is book reviews and gay agenda videos. If any of that sounds like fun to you, you're going to want to click that subscribe button and ding the bell. The bell gives you notifications every time I upload new content to the channel, which is 2 times like clockwork every single week. Click the like button and leave me a comment below. It really helps me in the algorithm, and I appreciate you for giving me feedback on the content. If you haven't already, head over to the socials. You're going to find me at Barrett_Laurie at Twitter and Instagram. Go ahead and give me a follow. I look forward to engaging with you on the social platforms. I hope everyone out there stays healthy and well, and look forward to talking to you soon.